Since our recent teaching on the Goshen Mystery, I've received so many requests from you asking for the specific practical applications of the principles that I decided to release those principles in a shortened form. You won't need to search through the full video because I've isolated the 3 critical steps to secure your doorpost and activate Psalms 91 protection right here in this video. Let's jump right to the application. So here's your 3 steps. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 9 tells us to write the commands on the post of our houses and on our gates. This is about dedicating the portals of your home. And the Hebrew concept here is shamar, and it means to guard, to watch, to hedge about. So when you dedicate your door, when you dedicate the doorpost of your life, you're setting a guard, you're setting a watch. And this is what I want you to do. I want you to physically go to your door today, and I want you to anoint the post with oil if you feel led, and then verbally declare, as for me and my house, we serve Yah. No plague is coming near this dwelling. What are you doing? You are establishing a legal, spiritual boundary over your home. This isn't just your physical home. This is your spiritual home as well. You need to make sure that your life is anointed by the Spirit of the living God. Number 2, it's the Psalm 91 shift. We all know the Psalm, but I want you to stop reading it as poetry and start praying it as policy. This is covenant, folk. As many people that talk about the Torah and the law, they seem to have skipped over these parts. Let's look at Psalms 91. And it reads, "He that dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover you with His feathers, and under His wings shall you trust. His truth shall be your shield and buckler. You shall not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flies by day, nor for the pestilence that walks in darkness, nor for the destruction that wastes at noonday. Watch, 1,000 shall fall at your side, and 10,000 at your right hand, but it shall not come near you. Only with your eyes shall you behold and see the reward of the wicked. Why? Because you have made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, your habitation. There shall no evil befall you, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling." Oh my. That's covenant. That's the inheritance of the saints. That's the blessing of the Lord that we're called to walk in. People are too focused on the curse not recognizing that Messiah has redeemed us from the curse so that the blessing might become a reality. What did he say? There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh your dwelling. Only with your eyes will you behold the reward of the wicked. The Hebrew word for refuge that we read in verse 2 is makasa. It means a shelter from the storm, but you have to enter it, and you enter it by faith and confession. That's why it says in verse 2, I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. This is the truth of faith and confession that has been so corrupted and perverted by many in the Pentecostal and charismatic movements in the earth. Because the enemy doesn't want the people of Yah exercising this kind of faith and confession when it comes to their relationship with the Most High. So every morning, cover your children, cover your spouse, cover your property with this specific prayer. It's the New Testament application of the Passover blood. They were putting the blood on the doorpost of their homes during the Passover. They were making those confessions of the provision and the protection of the God of Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. We need to recapture the truth and the application of how we are to walk with Yah. Step number 3. This may be the hard one. Checking your atmosphere. You cannot build a Goshen if you are piping in the darkness of Egypt through your television, through your media consumption. You see, in Exodus, the Israelites had light in their dwelling while Egypt had darkness. If your home is filled with a 24-hour news cycle of fear, doom, unholy entertainment, you are inviting that spirit of Egypt into your sanctuary. And the same applies for social media. If all you are consuming in your social media are messages of fear, messages of doom, messages of condemnation, messages of oppression, messages of how you're under the curse, you're inviting that spirit into your sanctuary. You have to sanctify your atmosphere. This is why you need to be playing worship music around your home. Read the word aloud. Why? Because you will displace the air of anxiety with the air of the kingdom. This is why so many people are depressed and discouraged. They're not feeding themselves on the blessing of the Lord that comes through Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ. So what do you need to do? You need to put the blood on the doorpost. You need to anoint your home and anoint yourself. You need to exercise your covenant rights in Psalms 91. You need to find out what belongs to you as a child of Yah, and through faith and confession, claim the promises of the covenant. And number 3, you need to sanctify your atmosphere. These are all things we do. See, the Father has done what He's going to do. It's time for us to do what we're called to do. That's why Scripture says, don't be hearers of the word, but be doers also. Because if you're just hearing the word and you're not doing the word, you're deceiving your own self. And that's happening with too many people.